Hey everybody, Ron Burke, Editor-in-Chief for Gaming Trend. Today we're going to check out the Recon controller from Turtle Beach. Turtle Beach is a name that we've known for a very long time in the audio market, but do they have the chops to make a controller? Let's unbox this thing and find out. Stickers, of course. Please register. Ask us for help if you get stuck. Instructions. And a quick reference guide for understanding what your controller is trying to tell you. One very long, 10 feet I believe, braided USB to USB-C detachable cable, and of course the controller itself. The first thing you might notice are these right here. These are called the Ergonomic Cooling Grips, or at least that's what Turtle Beach is calling them. They're like a rubberized grip on the edges here, and then they also go underneath right here underneath your palms so you can keep your hands dry while you're playing. If all this looks familiar, it's because it feels exactly like a regular first-party Xbox controller. The little ridges on here are the same, the placement is the same. This is pretty similar to what you'd find on an Elite controller. There is this one little button here. We'll get back to that in just a minute. Now let's flip this thing over and take a look at something that Turtle Beach is calling a quick action button. These textured triggers here can be mapped to any of the functions on this controller. To do so, you simply hit this button to select which profile you'd like. This light up here will light up in one of the cardinal directions. Press this button here to enter mapping mode, and from there, you'll flip over the controller once again, you'll press which button you'd like to map, and then you'll select which of the buttons you'd like to assign, and then press that button once again, and it is mapped. Let's flip over the controller one more time and take a look at this left trigger once again. When you press and hold this particular trigger, it enables a Pro Aim mode. This Pro Aim mode reduces the sensitivity of this right thumbstick, allowing you to take more precise shots. Much of the functions on the Recon rely on this button right here, the mode button. As you can see, mode swaps between these two icons. So, for instance, that is the Pro Aim icon. Then there's this other button right next to mode, which is select. You'll notice that it lights up 4 pips or turns off completely. So, for instance, that particular setting right there would enable the Pro Aim, but it would only reduce this sensitivity on this right thumbstick the least amount. So, more, and max. Switching with the mode button again, you can see that that switched back to the profile icon. And once again, there are 4 settings. There is no off for this one. 1 is default. 2, 3, and 4 are all for you to define. That could be different sensitivity levels. That could be Pro Aim focus mode, enabled to a certain degree, or whether you want yourself muted, or buttons that you've mapped. Whatever those are, those can be stored on those profiles. Now we're going to plug in a standard 3.5mm headphone, a Recon in fact. That's when you see the volume light and the chat mix light appear. With the headphone connected, you can also press this superhuman hearing button. The superhuman hearing button punches up the audio, which helps with people sneaking up on you, better audio track, punches up that center. I find it to be a great addition and a surprise to find on any controller, that's for sure. There is one feature that's completely unique on this controller, and it only works on the Xbox series of consoles, and that's this chat and volume mixer. Turtle Beach does sell a super amp. It does go with their Elite Pro 2 gaming headset, which I highly recommend, but this controller has a lot of that functionality built into it. So using this button right here, you can change the chat or the volume of your in-game audio, raising and lowering, so you can either hear your teammates more clearly or hear the game more clearly. That doesn't work on Windows 10, but it is a great selling feature, and given that this controller costs $59.99, it does so at the same price as any other standard controller. I did mention that we'd get back to this particular button. That button lets you, on the Xbox Series X and S, switch between all of the open tabs that you have, so you can switch between all of your different focused items. The other button on this controller is this one right here. It's a physical mute. Yeah, you can go in and mute or change the volume of your individual party members, which again, useful with the chat. But being able to mute right there on the controller instead of fumbling with what's on the back of your headset is a godsend. Being able to just pause to cough or chew a bunch of chips or whatever you're gonna do that's gonna make a whole bunch of noise, you can mute yourself and then finish your chips, whatever, and not be that obnoxious person that everybody jumps into the individual party member volume to turn you all the way down. So good on Turtle Beach for giving us a physical mute button. With a headphone plugged in, we're gonna go ahead and hit that mode button 2 more times and light that up. So that is a mic monitoring indicator. Mic monitoring is useful because it allows you to more accurately hear your voice. Once again, when we hit select, we'll see there are 4 presets. It allows you to raise how much you hear your own voice, so you can know if you are shouting or if you're too quiet. You can just punch that up so you can more accurately hear yourself, so you can know what your teammates hear. It's rare to see this in a headset, and I've never seen it on a controller. It's pretty cool for them to include that. The last indicator here is EQ, or equalizer. That lets you set 4 modes, including off. Mode 1 is the signature sound, and that's basically your default. Mode 2 is bass boost, which obviously punches up the bass. Mode 3 pushes bass and treble, and then mode 4 is a vocal boost, so it more focuses on the center channel. The last few buttons are the ones that you'd expect on any Xbox controller, obviously bringing up the controls and your various tabs and effectively your start button. So I've been using the Turtle Beach Recon for a little while now, and I have to say, this is brilliant, but I like this. With features that are normally reserved for an elite controller and a handful of audio ones that are exclusive to this platform, the only thing I really didn't use were these grips. I just don't sweat that much. And at the end of the day, that's not much to complain about. I'm Ron Burke, Editor-in-Chief for GamingTrend.com. Thanks for watching. Keep safe out there. We'll see you again very soon.